The persistent sniping going on about this royal photograph is getting a little bit out of control, particularly when I read this Daily Mail article. Now, no criticism directly of the Daily Mail, but of the sources quoted within it. When it says, sources close to Harry and Meghan say the Sussexes would have been annihilated had they made the same Photoshop mistake as Kate. Catherine, Princess of Wales, let's not be too informal here, shall we? But insist that the Duchess, using the title here, wouldn't have slipped up because of a freakish attention to detail. So we're going to discuss that attention to detail a little bit in this video. But first of all, welcome back. And speaking of attention to detail, you might have noticed that I've moved my room around once again in my attempts to get it looking right. If you're new to me, I'm Daniel ShenSmith, a barrister of England and Wales, and I run the Black Belt Barrister channel, where some of you might have found me from. I would please ask you to subscribe if you enjoy my content, because about 60-70% of you don't, and that's the one thing I do ask of you. So let's take a look at this article, and then we'll discuss this attention to detail. So it says here about this photograph that it sparked a global frenzy, and a source close to Meghan has told Page 6 that the couple would be annihilated for the same mishap, and simply isn't a mistake Meghan would ever make. The source said, and we all know that the source could be anybody from the gardener to Harry and or Meghan themselves, and we don't know who it is. The source said, if Harry and Meghan ever encountered the same issue, they would have been annihilated. The same rules do not apply to both couples. Well, the thing is, Princess Catherine hasn't written books tarnishing the whole of the family's reputation. But since we're looking at attention to detail, let's look at an example of such attention to detail. I'll link this video below for full credit and copyright fair dealing exemption. But this is a short clip of Meghan talking about her first date with Harry and a piece of fabric that she had sewn into the wedding dress from said first date. Listen to.
Beautiful. Somewhere in here, there's a piece of, did you see it? The piece of blue fabric that's stitched inside?
No.
It was my something blue. It's fabric from my...
I hope it's still in there.
Yes,
we'll have to
sure
look at that.
It's fabric from the dress that I wore on our first date.
Fabric from the dress worn on their first date, and the description of the video confirms exactly that. It says, she revealed that she had a patch of blue fabric from her first date with Prince Harry sewn into her wedding dress. And it was a promotional clip for ITV's program. However, since we're looking for attention to detail, Prince Harry's hopefully written a book containing lots of details about that first date, among other things. He speaks of the first date here, where he says, I asked if I could see her before she left. I watched the phone, waiting for an answer, staring at the endlessly fluttering ellipses. Then, sure, great, now where to meet? I suggested my place. Your place on a first date? Don't think so. So he's talking about the first date here, but a little bit further down. And this was quoted in all the media. So I'm, just for the avoidance of doubt, I am not stating this as fact. I'm quoting it from this book here. And all the media outlets quoted this as what he described their first date. He says, she was wearing a black sweater, jeans and heels. He said, I knew nothing about clothes, but I knew she was chic. Then again, I knew she could make anything look chic. So a black sweater, jeans and heels, not a blue dress out of which she says here that she took a piece and sewn into her wedding dress. So which is it? I mean, who's telling the truth? So if we want to look at credibility here, this is not me sniping. This is me showing an example as if someone is through a source or a source quoted about Meghan to say that she has a freakish attention to detail and simply wouldn't make this sort of mistake, then I respectfully suggest that either she's mistaken in that clip that I just showed you, or Harry is entirely mistaken in his book, because the two are not the same, unless, of course, she changed halfway through the date, which it doesn't appear to be the case, and there's no mention of that. Not that I saw, not that I read from the book or the news outlets. But the point of this is, if we're going to look at attention to detail and credibility and things like that, then that works both ways as well. But I just think that the sniping by the use of the media through a source or another is just reprehensible. I don't think this is necessary. I don't think it helps matters. And whoever the source is, if they want to help their reputation, as in the reputation of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. If they want to help their reputation, I would suggest not speaking to the media like this to say that the rules don't apply, they'd have been annihilated, and that she'd never make this kind of mistake. So there's been some editing on the photograph, whether that was Photoshop, whether it was stitched photographs together, which many phones do these days, and things like that, or whether it's some software that did exactly the same thing, matters not. Okay, there's been some questions raised about it. I've covered that in my Black Belt Barrister video. I'll link that below as well. But I just thought that if news outlets are going to write stories like this that are clearly sniping at members of the royal family whilst they are obviously going through difficult times and trying to put out photographs to put a positive spin out into the world, I don't think it deserves this sort of negative sniping attack from whoever the source is. So make of that what you will. Leave me your thoughts and comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm over-egging this at all here? But this is just one example I've found in the past from a previous video that I did. Didn't take me very long to find. And just shows that consistency is key if you want to be believed to be trustworthy and have an attention to detail. Then if your stories don't always add up, then people may draw their own conclusions from that. That's just the way that I see this. So let me know your thoughts and comments in the box below. Thank you as always for watching and for subscribing, and I'll see you next time.